What if the Land of Ooo in Adventure Time isn't what you think it is? What if the candy-colored landscapes and goofy adventures were just a clever disguise? We all fell in love with Finn the human and Jake the dog's endless quests. But just beneath that bright, surreal world are secrets so dark and profound, they will completely redefine how you see the entire show. Make no mistake, this was never just a kid's cartoon. It was a deep, complicated, and often tragic story hiding in plain sight, a modern epic disguised as a Saturday morning distraction. We're going to break down the wildest, most mind-bending theories the show's massive and dedicated fan base ever dreamt up. From the true, terrifying cause of the Great Mushroom War to the secret, soul-crushing heartbreak of the Ice King. These are the ideas that transform a simple cartoon into a sprawling, post-apocalyptic saga. And you'll absolutely want to stick around to the very end, because we're going to reveal the one fan-favorite theory that the show's creators finally and gloriously made canon in the most epic way possible. Number 1. The Great Mushroom War and the End of the World. Let's kick things off with the foundational theory that underpins everything else. The Land of Ooo isn't some far-off fantasy dimension. It's our world. 1,000 years after we pushed the big red button, and it all went horribly wrong. This is the Great Mushroom War theory. From the very first episodes, eagle-eyed fans spotted bizarre and unsettling clues scattered all over the place. Skeletons in tattered business suits, half-buried cityscapes peeking through the soil, and rusted-out cars overgrown with vines. The show's iconic opening sequence even gives you a blink and you'll miss it glimpse of discarded nuclear bombs littered among other relics of a forgotten age. This all led to one terrifying conclusion. The Mushroom War had nothing to do with fungi and everything to do with the mushroom clouds of a global nuclear apocalypse. The evidence is simply overwhelming. Episodes like Business Time show pre-war businessmen frozen in a block of ice, perfectly preserved artifacts from a lost capitalist world. In the background of Finn and Jake's adventures, you can spot ruined highways, crumbling skyscrapers, and sunken cities, all pointing to a technologically advanced society just like ours that was completely and utterly wiped out. This theory became so popular that the show's crew essentially confirmed it, admitting they leaned into the post-apocalyptic angle fans had uncovered. The war didn't just obliterate most of humanity. It irradiated the entire planet and, through some unknown, terrifying process, brought magic roaring back into the world. This one cataclysmic event is the origin story for everything. The mutants, the wizards, the talking candy people. They're all the strange, magical, and sometimes horrifying descendants of a world that destroyed itself. In the episode The Vault, it's even suggested that the cheerful Candy Kingdom was built directly on top of a river of toxic, radioactive waste. A sweet civilization born from our glowing poison. Number 2. The Coma theory, a dream of Ooo. But what if Ooo isn't a post-apocalyptic future? What if none of it is even real at all? This leads us to one of the darkest and most debated theories out there. The idea that the entire show is just a coma dream. The theory suggests that Finn is a lonely, imaginative little boy who suffered a terrible accident and is now lying unconscious in a hospital bed. The whole sprawling show, with all its bizarre dream logic and even weirder characters, is just his mind's desperate attempt to cope with a bleak and immobile reality. Think about it. The show possesses a distinctly dreamlike quality. Events can feel random, disjointed, and nonsensical, and the tone can swing wildly from silly slapstick adventure to deep existential dread in a single heartbeat, which is pretty much how dreams function. In this heartbreaking version of the story, Jake isn't a magical, shape-shifting dog. He's just Finn's loyal, real-life dog, faithfully waiting by his hospital bed, his comforting presence translated into a super-powered best friend. The Ice King, with his relentless obsession with capturing a princess, could be a twisted, dreamlike interpretation of a doctor making his rounds, or maybe a symbol of Finn's own profound and crushing loneliness. The fact that Finn is the only known human for most of the show just adds more fuel to this theoretical fire. In his dream world, he gets to be the special hero, the last of his kind, because in the real world, he feels completely and utterly alone. Now, this theory has never been confirmed, and let's be honest, the "it was all a dream" trope is a bit of a cliche. Still, its raw emotional weight makes it a haunting possibility that's hard to entirely shake. Number 3. The cosmic horror of Gunter and the Lich. Let's pivot from the psychological to the straight-up cosmic and talk about two of the show's most mysterious and terrifying characters, Gunter the Penguin and the Lich. On the surface, Gunter is just the Ice King's goofy, bottle-smashing penguin sidekick who just goes wank. But a wild theory, which the show later confirmed in spectacular fashion, revealed a horrifying truth. Gunter isn't a penguin at all. He is, in fact, Orgolorg, an ancient cosmic entity who devoured entire solar systems and was feared as a breaker of worlds across the universe. Millennia ago, after he tried to intercept and swallow a catalyst comet to absorb its power, he was defeated by the hero Billy and thrown down to Earth. The planet's immense gravity crushed his powerful, monstrous form into that of a harmless, flightless little penguin, wiping his memory completely clean. And then there's the Lich. He's not just some run-of-the-mill bad guy, he is the literal embodiment of mass extinction. His modern form was born directly from the apex of the Mushroom War. He's a sentient creation of the very bomb that ended our world. But his story goes back even further. He was a primordial monster from a time before time, a being of pure evil who was eventually reincarnated into a catalyst comet with a single, horrifying purpose: to destroy all life. The Lich isn't just a powerful, magic-wielding skeleton. He's a thinking, philosophical force of pure nothingness. His only goal is the extinction of all life, a wish he almost got by masterfully tricking Finn and Jake. He is the ultimate villain, because he doesn't want money, or power, or even recognition. He just wants everything and everyone to end. Number 4, the Candy Kingdom's rotten core. What if the safest, most cheerful kingdom in Ooo was secretly its most terrifying? That's the core of the theory that Princess Bubblegum's Candy Kingdom is not a happy monarchy, but a sophisticated, sugary dystopia. On the surface, PB is a benevolent, science-loving ruler, but fans quickly noticed her obsessive need for control. This theory argues that she's a full-blown authoritarian who maintains her power through a 24/7 surveillance state, with cameras watching every citizen for their own protection. The evidence is chilling. Her banana guards are an easily manipulated and incompetent police force, yet her first resort is always overwhelming force. In the episode Rattleballs, we learned she once created an elite squad of gumball robot warriors who were brutally effective, but she deemed them too violent and ordered them all destroyed. She created the Earl of Lemongrab, and when his independent thought became too much for her to handle, she banished him. Essentially, Princess Bubblegum sees her citizens as her children, but also as her science experiments. She loves them, but she also believes they are too simple-minded to exist without her absolute control, creating a perfectly pleasant police state where free will is a liability. Number 5. Jake the Alien Dog. Jake the dog is a magical dog who can stretch his body into any shape or size. For the longest time, the in-show explanation was that he got his powers by rolling in a magical mud puddle as a puppy. But fans always felt there was something more to it, and this theory, which the show gloriously confirmed, proves Jake isn't just a magical dog. He's a half-alien hybrid. The clue started in the episode Joshua and Margaret Investigations, a flashback where we learn about Finn and Jake's parents. In the episode, their father Joshua is bitten on the head by a mysterious blue shape-shifting creature. That bite swells up and, in a truly bizarre sequence, bursts open to reveal a baby Jake. Years later, the show finally paid this off by introducing Warren Ampersand, the same blue alien, who reveals he is Jake's biological father. Warren is an ancient cosmic being who travels the universe, impregnating creatures on different planets by biting them. Also, he can later track down his offspring and drain them of their life essence to achieve immortality. This completely rewrites Jake's origins. His powers aren't from a mud puddle, they're an extraterrestrial inheritance. He's not just Finn's brother, he's the biological son of a cosmic parasite, connecting him directly to the show's vast and strange cosmic lore. It's crazy how these theories completely change the way you see the characters, right? They add so much tragedy and meaning to everything happening on screen. If you're loving this deep dive into the secrets of Ooo, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button because we've got a lot more lore to uncover. Number 6, the tragedy of Simon Petrikov. Okay, but perhaps the most heartbreaking and beautifully executed theory that ended up being true is the real story of the Ice King. For most of the show, he's presented as a goofy, pathetic, and lonely villain who's dangerously obsessed with kidnapping princesses. But tiny, cryptic hints of a forgotten past life led fans to a tragic conclusion. The Ice King wasn't born a king. He used to be a man. His name was Simon Petrikov. He was a kind, brilliant antiquarian who was engaged to the love of his life, a woman named Betty Groff, whom he lovingly called his princess. Right before the Mushroom War, he bought an old, jeweled crown as a historical curiosity. As a joke, he put it on his head, but it was a cursed artifact that immediately gave him terrifying, maddening visions and started to warp his mind. It made him act so erratically that he eventually scared Betty away forever. The crown granted him ice powers and immortality, which is the only reason he survived the apocalypse. But every single time he used its power to survive, it chipped away at his memories and his sanity, slowly and cruelly erasing the man he once was. In the desolate post-apocalyptic wasteland, he found and cared for a young orphaned girl, a child who would grow up to be Marceline, the vampire queen. He acted as her protector and gave her a doll, Hambo, to comfort her in the ruins of the world. But as the crown's influence grew stronger, he grew terrified of the monster he was becoming. He made the agonizing choice to leave Marceline behind, to protect her from the madness that was consuming him. Over the next 1,000 years, Simon was lost completely, replaced by the nonsensical, lonely Ice King. His desperate obsession with princesses is just a sad, twisted echo of his lost mind, calling for his beloved Betty, his princess. Many believe the Ice King's story is a powerful and poignant metaphor for the tragedy of degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, which adds a whole other layer of profound sadness to his character. Number 7. The confirmed secret? Bubbline. And that brings us to the final theory. The one that fans championed with unrelenting passion for years before the creators finally confirmed it was true all along. From early on, fans noticed a special, sometimes tense, but always incredibly emotional bond between Princess Bubblegum and Marceline the Vampire Queen. The theory was simple, yet revolutionary for its time. They used to be in a romantic relationship. The clues were scattered everywhere, woven into the fabric of their interactions. In the episode What Was Missing?, Bubblegum is caught secretly smelling a rock shirt that Marceline had given her, a shirt she clearly cherishes as a memento of their past. In that very same episode, Marceline sings, "I'm Just Your Problem," a raw, emotional song that sounds exactly like a breakup anthem. In it, she questions if PB has a problem with her personality or just with who she fundamentally is. Their shared, unspoken history, their bitter arguments that felt too personal, and their fierce underlying loyalty to one another all pointed to something much deeper and more complicated than a simple friendship. For years, this remained subtext. The show's writers, including future Steven Universe creator Rebecca Sugar, had woven this complex, beautiful history between them, but it was never officially confirmed on screen. Then, in the series finale, Come Along With Me, with the world literally falling apart around them, the theory finally became canon. After Marceline saves Bubblegum from certain death at the hands of a monster, the two share a passionate kiss, confirming their love for each other after nearly a decade of fan speculation and hope. Executive producer Adam Muto later confirmed that while a romance wasn't in the original series outline, it just evolved naturally through the writing and character work until it became an undeniable, essential part of their story. This didn't just make legions of fans incredibly happy. It changed everything about their shared history, reframing every fight, every longing glance, and every moment of sacrifice as part of a long, complicated, and beautiful love story. From a nuclear apocalypse that birthed a magical world and a lonely hero's tragic dream, to a forgotten past and a legendary romance finally confirmed, the theories of Adventure Time prove it's so much more than what it seems on the surface. They show that behind all the bright colors, mathematical catchphrases, and silly jokes is a world filled with real darkness, genuine heartbreak, and powerful, enduring love. And it's these hidden stories, the ones lurking just beneath the surface, that make the Land of Ooo a place we want to keep coming back to again and again. What do you think? Which Adventure Time theory is your all-time favorite? Are there any other wild ones we missed that you absolutely love? Let us know down in the comments and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.